Welcome everybody to the professor interview for the College of Arts and Humanities. This is Professor Casales. Would you like to introduce yourself, Professor?
Of course. So my name is Natalie Caseles, and I'm a professor of Spanish in the Department of World Languages and Cultures. And I have been at Central for a long time. This is my 24th year at Central. So I've been here a long time, and I really, really appreciate being here. So I teach Spanish. I teach all levels of Spanish, but recently I have specialized in translation and interpretation. So those are the two skills that I particularly like teaching to my students to give them a hands-on experience with Spanish. So which will hopefully will help them in their future careers.
Hey, thank you very much, Professor. So,
Sure.
just knock it out. What are a couple of interesting majors within the College of Arts and Humanities?
Oh, there are many. All the majors are interesting. I think that, I mean, I can talk about what I know best, which is majoring in a language. And majoring in a language is really going to give you a plus when you apply for a job. Having this knowledge of another language just sets you apart from other people who might be monolingual. So I think, it's a good idea for students, whatever major they choose within the college, to also add a language major because, like I was saying, when you can add this to your resume, it will really set you apart from the rest of the people. So, and the truth is that we live in a state where Spanish is very important, and it is also the second language in the United States. I think that it is, I'm talking about Spanish here more particularly, but it's really a very useful skill. But I think that apart from the fact that, of course, Spanish is used in the United States more than other languages, I think whatever language you choose, you're just making a smart choice because learning another language is learning another culture. It's learning how to understand other ways to see the world and approach life. And so I think that's a valuable experience for anybody, whether they have a major already in the College of Arts and Humanities, or if they have a major in something like math. you know the skills that they're going to get through a language course, um, through a Russian course, a French course, a Japanese course, an American Sign Language course, all those skills are going to be important, you know, in the career of their choice. So that's why I think that I would encourage, all students to do language. But like I was saying before, all of our majors are fascinating. I mean, I I think one would need a lifetime to explore. If one could have time and just explore, some of those disciplines. I think it's it's wonderful. So um, I can't really say, what major. It depends on your interest, but generally speaking, the arts and the humanities are going to provide students with skills that they can use in any area. So for example, somebody who, majors in philosophy, for example, okay, this person, or majors in English, this person is going to use the skills that they learn in those majors in anything they do, you know, because philosophy is going to teach you how to think critically, for example. And who doesn't need to think critically? You know, any job is going to require this from you. Being an English major is going to teach you how to write well. So is a history major, and this is a very important skill no matter what you decide to do. So I think that we are a very important college in the sense that the disciplines that we teach are core disciplines that will that have that provide skills that are good for a lifetime. So yeah, that
Yeah,
would be my answer to that.
that's a great
Yeah,
response. Thank you, thank you.
okay. Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
that's exactly
And,
why I.
and I'm sorry, I mean to say, I mean, I mentioned some majors, some in the college. I didn't mention them all, but, I could say the same about art, about, music. As you know, we are very famous for our music program. And so, it's a very prestigious program. Not that the other ones are not, but I mean, the music program, is known, regionally and nationally and internationally. So, whatever you choose in the college, in our college, you can't go wrong because uh, it's going to give you very, very useful tools for life. So, yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I decided to major in Spanish because understanding the language, just from a perspective in a family and actually learning at an academic level, it's a big difference.
Hmm.
And I love the fact that I
Yeah,
decided to major in it.
that's wonderful. I am so glad you're doing that. This is wonderful. Wonderful. I mean, it's I don't know. I think it's a privilege, to speak two languages, and when you speak two languages, you speak not only two cultures, but you speak. The Hispanic world is so wide, and you have the opportunity to encounter all these different people and communicate with them. So that's wonderful. Yeah, good choice.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are some exciting internships opportunities offered in this college?
So, I know there are many internships offered, like in philosophy. I know there are internships, in ethics, for example. There are a lot of internships offered in the Department of Communication. Uh, Again, what I know best is what in art. I mean, all the departments do internships. The ones that I know a little more is, I mean, in our department was starting, especially with students, with language students to develop internship opportunities. What we've done so far is, like, I've given the opportunity to my students in translation interpretation to interpret in the community. So they've had the opportunity, to practice their skills in the community, and more particularly, they have They have been interpreting for parent teacher conferences at the schools in Ellensburg. So I haven't had, a student yet who's done an internship, you know, in interpretation or translation, but we are in the process of developing this, and we just created also a certificate in culture. And so I know that my colleagues also are developing opportunities, for the students who are doing that certificate. So this is an area that we are in the process of developing. Yep. Hmm.
Perfect, perfect. So, another question: what advice
Sure.
do you have for incoming freshmen?
Well, ooh. So I would say that, you know, first of all, I think one should really think about the privilege that it is to be able to study at a university. You know, um, when you are a student, you know, and when you are faced with, you know, difficult courses and adapting to a new life, and, you know, you might lose perspective on, you know, how fortunate it is that one has this opportunity to learn, you
Mhm,
know. So what I would say is, you know, take a minute to think about, to rejoice about this opportunity that you are being given, you know. And so, you know, in difficult times, just think about this. You know, yeah, I mean, this is a process. This is not always easy. This is a different phase in my life, you know. Obviously, you know, I have to be more disciplined. You know, I have to work more, all my courses and everything. But, you know, this is also a wonderful journey where not only you're going to have the opportunity to specialize in an area of your choice, but also explore things that are really going to enrich you. And what I would say is, you know, be curious. Just don't, you know, if you decide to be a math major, obviously you're going to take a lot of math courses, and you're going to focus on that. But, you know, take a philosophy class, take a language course, do something outside of your comfort zone, you know, something that, you know, say, you know what, I learned something very interesting in that course, you know, that changed me. And actually, some students do this and change their majors, you know, or change their decision, you know, because they take this class and they're just so, they like it so much. Okay, this is what I want to do. So I would say be open, you
mhm,
know, be focused, but also be open, because your choices might change, you know. And so, and just, you know, really make the best of this experience. Try to meet as many people as possible. I mean, right now obviously this is difficult, but, you know, in normal times, uh, you know, try to do as many extracurricular activities as you can, you know, join clubs, you know, explore new things. And what I would also say for freshmen is I would highly recommend that students consider study abroad.
mhm,
And a lot of students don't know this, especially freshmen, you know, when they come in, you know, they hear about study abroad and they say, oh, I can't afford that. You know, this is too expensive. I can't do this. But actually, you know, when you look closer into it, you realize that you can take some of the courses you would take here at Central, you could take them in, you know, Argentina, for example, you know. So because we have a lot of agreements with universities abroad, so, you know, that's a way to complete your courses while, you know, doing it in Argentina
mhm,
for a quarter or for a year. And I think what students need to understand is that it's not going to put them behind or anything, you know. And sometimes the cost is not going to be higher. It's going to be very similar to what they would pay here. So I would say, you know, stretch your horizons in all the different meanings, you know, like stretch your horizons on campus, but also stretch your horizons beyond campus, you know, just explore these possibilities. And so, yeah. And another thing, the last thing I think that is important is that I would tell them, you know, to ask for help as soon as possible if they need it, if they feel they need it, because sometimes what you see with freshmen, because, you know, they might be a little lost at first, and, you know, although Central does a fabulous job at, you know, helping students and guiding them and everything, but, you know, you're away from home, it's difficult, might be the first time you're away from home. You know, I would say I would really encourage them to seek help as early as possible. I'm struggling in this class. Where do I go? What resources do I have? Because there are so many resources on this campus, and sometimes students don't use them as they could. So that's another piece of advice I would give a freshman, you know, and yeah.
Yeah, I love that because I actually switched from majors because I actually got interested in the vet studies. Uh, I used
Yes.
to be interested in clinical physiology because I wanted to be a physical therapist, but when I started looking more into
Oh,
academia,
okay.
I decided to become a vet because like I really like working with animals and it's quite exciting.
Yes,
So
that's great. Well,
I,
see, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's so exciting. I remember when I was a freshman, when I started, and how exhilarating it is. It's like you have all these opportunities in front of you, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. Because like, ooh, all of this. But I think it's just good to try and find what you really want.
mm.
So yeah. Well, that's great. Oh, you're going to be a vet. That's wonderful. I love pets too. I love animals. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good for you. That's great.
Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, so another question. So,
Sure.
what is the greatest thing about your career?
Well, my students. I mean, I love being in the classroom. I love interacting with students. Whenever I get into a class, I get energized. I get inspired. I get motivated. Um, so I have seen, students, you know, finding their passion for Spanish, and those are wonderful moments, when a student says, okay, well, I'm going to drop that whatever major and I'm going to major in Spanish or, any other language, because I taught French also for a while. But, it's just very inspiring to see that. I just like interacting with my students. I also I think I've really found what I like doing, which is interpretation and translation. So that also brings me a lot of satisfaction. I i i like learning from my students. I learn every day from them, and that's also very rewarding. So I usually say I don't really consider I have a job, because I love my job so much that it doesn't feel like a job, but more like a hobby, if that makes sense. But I mean, it is still a job. But those are the parts that I really like. I've also conducted study abroad in France, and those were amazing moments as well, because when you see students discovering a different culture, and you start seeing how they interact with that culture, and that's also, there's like those moments of surprise, of discovery, and that's always very interesting to watch. And through their eyes, you also discover things yourself. So it's a win-win. It's a great collaboration. So I really enjoy that. Yep.
Indeed. Yeah, so my sister went to a CWU a couple of years ago, and she had you as
Oh,
a
she
professor.
did.
Yes, her name
Oh,
was
she did.
yeah,
Yes, I remember. Yeah, yeah, the last name. Yes, Silvas. Yes. Yes, remind me of her name, of her first name.
Jahira.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, great. Okay. All right. What is she doing now?
She's an accountant. Yes, but she majored in
Oh,
Spanish.
that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I remember she was going to be an accountant. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes. Okay. She was in my class 2 years ago. That's right. She graduated in June of 2018.
Hmm.
Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Yes, I remember very well. Oh, that's very nice. So she's doing well as an accountant. She likes it.
Yes, exactly.
She's okay. Oh, great. Great, great, great. That's very nice. Well, please say hi to her for me.
Oh, yes, of course. And
Yes,
she
yes.
gave me one piece of advice. She told me, make sure to take Natalie. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Make sure to take Casalis.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Well, that's very nice. That's also nice. That's also nice. A nice moment when I hear things like that. It's like, okay, that's great. Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, she has a little girl. Yes, I remember.
yes, yes, she does.
Yes, she has a little girl. Yeah, I remember she would tell me about her little girl, and when they had this false alert in the Cirque 2 years
Oh,
ago,
yes.
we were together. We were in one room together because they put us in a room,
Mhm.
and she was there among the students, and I was there, and we were locked down there for a little while in the room, because there was like they had been like calls that that something was going to happen on campus and everything, so we had to all retreat in one room and be kind of in lockdown there for a couple hours. So I remember she was there. So yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, great, that's wonderful. So what other classes are you taking this quarter?
Yeah, of course. So I'm taking your class 442,
Yes.
and then I'm taking span 310. Uh,
Oh,
so
great. Okay.
yeah, and then
Yes.
I'm taking general biology 181, and
Oh yeah, for the vet studies, yeah.
exactly yes,
Uh-huh.
and I'm taking chemistry 361, organic chemistry.
Oh, okay. So you're good in math and all of this and all the sciences. Yeah, you like that. Yep.
Okay.
I yeah, I know that you need those for to be a vet. So that's yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, great. Well, that's wonderful. I'm so glad to meet you. That's great.
Thank you. Thank
I never realized that who was your sister. That's great. Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
honest,
Okay.
honest to say, I think the reason why I decided to major in Spanish was because of her. Like she motivated me to get into the major.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, she was your sister was in I want to say several of my classes.
Yeah, she told me. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, she was in the because we have like a track for heritage speakers. And so she was in one of my classes, I believe, in that track. And then she took all the translation classes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, great. Yeah, it's good to know she's doing well. That's wonderful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great. Well, I'm so glad that you are a major. Welcome to the major Spanish major family. And yeah, that's great.
Hopefully, I can study.
Okay. Did you have a,
That'd be nice.
what's that?
Oh,
What's that?
hopefully I could study abroad. That would be really nice.
Oh, yes. I would strongly encourage you to do that because, like I was saying, it's in some cases it's not more expensive. It's and you could just study the same things, and then your credits transfer, to Central. They transfer back to Central. So we have a lot of students who do this, actually, among our majors. So yeah, that let me know if that's what you'd like to know to do. I could direct you to the right person who could advise you on that. So you have 2 more years at Central.
Yes, correct.
2 more years. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and you can always do. You could go in the summer, or you could do just a quarter. I mean, there are so many options. So yeah,
Agree.
great.
Uh,
Okay,
that basically wraps up the interview. Thank you for answering all these questions.
that's it. That's it. Okay, great, wonderful. I'm glad I could help. I hope that will help freshmen. Yeah, it'll be great if they come to our college. They won't regret it. So, yeah. Well, thank you, Geronimo. That was great. And any question you have about the course, let me know. Everything is pretty clear. I got your response about the group that
Yes.
you wanted to be in. Yeah, I'm gonna post those. I'm still waiting on a couple of replies, so I'm gonna post that when I have all the replies from everybody. So, yep,
Okay. All right.
great.
Thank you for all the information.
Okay,
Mhm.
Of course. And you take care, be safe, and yeah. And I'll talk to you soon, or we'll be in touch through email, or, well, actually, I will see you. Which day did you choose again? Monday or Tuesday?
Yes, I chose the 8:30 at Tuesday. Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I'll see you then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You have a good.
Adios.
All right.
Yeah, you too. Have a good weekend.